and inclusion through technology-enabled health system. The Ministry of Health stands ready to walk this journey together with all our partners, all our counties, and our communities. We will close the gap and we will open the future. With those many remarks, it's now my duty and honor to launch the Digital Health Agency Strategic Plan. What's happening? Yeah. Please, let's clap for DHA.
Purchase your tracks today.
Will we get copies? You will not expect hard copies. This is digital. Colleagues are asking me where the copy, so I told them this is digital. So you get your copy digitally, online. Thank you very much.
May we appreciate the CS for Health, Honorable Aden Duale, and his team once more. A better round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Allow me to welcome Tabi and the band for one number as we prepare ourselves to welcome our keynote speaker, His Excellency Engineer Dr. Raila Molo Odinga. Welcome, Tabi and the band.
Unaweza, unaweza, Yesu, unaweza, hakuna kama wewe. Unaweza, unaweza, Yesu, unaweza, hakuna kama wewe. Twakuinua, tunakupa sifa yoyo, unaweza, hakuna kama wewe, unaweza, 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 Yesu, unaweza, hakuna kama wewe, tunakuinua wewe, unaweza, unaweza, machalo kodi. Ine matingi malo, ine miromo luongo yoyo, ine minyalo, onge machalo kodi. Inyalo duto, ngamalo ionge, inyalo duto, onge machalo kodi. Inyalo duto, inyalo duto, Yesu ine minyalo, inyalo duto, osiepoa, hallelujah. Baba unaweza, 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 wewe kimbilio, unaweza, Yesu anaweza, Yesu anaweza yote,
Madendi kama
equal share of the nation.
Thank you, Tabby and the band. Let's appreciate Tabby and the band with a mighty round of applause. And may I now request our good friends, members of the Fourth Estate, kindly, slowly, security, let's be polite. Let's be polite. Slowly. Let us take our positions on my right. At a prayers. Thank you. May I request, in respect of our nation and our shared national values, may we be upstanding for the national anthem of the Republic of Kenya, to be followed by the East African Community Anthem. May I request a dress down for all unofficial headgear. After the anthems, the county chaplain and Sheikh Abdullahi will lead us in a short word of prayer. National anthem.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين يا رب العالمين.
Pema pako patazidi kubaki petu pakimbilio na nusuru. Mikono wako wa rehema na mkabidhi Rijali Shaki gwiji mngwana na adibu iwa mwandishi Raila Amolo Odinga ambaye ndiye mkunga wa ugatuzi. Twakuomba ewe Mola umjalie pamoja na magavana wote akiwemo Nala Gladys Atieno Wanga wa Homabay. Na kikao hiki twakuomba ewe Mola anza nasi, uenende nasi na utue nasi pema, na ni kwa sababu tumeomba tukiamini katika jina tukufu la Yesu Kristo mwanao.
May we be seated. Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, Engineer Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga, Your Excellency, the Chair of the Council of Governors, FCPA Ahmed Abdullahi, Your Excellency, the good Governor of Homabay County, Honorable Gladys Nyasuna Wanga, all governors present, Cabinet Secretary for Health, Honorable Adan Duale, all Cabinet Secretaries present, Principal Secretaries and officials of national government, the Minority Whip in the National Assembly, Honorable Mili Mabona, and all members of the National Assembly present, the Minority Leader in the Senate, Honorable Stewart Masayo, all senators present, the Speaker, Homabay County, Right Honorable Polycarp Kombo, all speakers of different county assemblies represented here, and members of various county assemblies, our partners, distinguished delegates. As I invite a good friend and a brother who has been doing a good job in guiding this auspicious occasion, since he came to Homabay, now is known as Dr. Latif. But as he comes, allow me, Your Excellency, to underscore the efforts you made for Kenya to realize devolution. Please, may we accord His Excellency, Engineer Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga, a hearty round of applause. We thank you for your efforts. Welcome, Latif. Karibu Daktari.
Thank you very much, Bagi. Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and delegates. Welcome to the Devolution Conference 2025. To the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. To kick off this program, I'd like to call up on stage the Chief Whip of the Council of Governors, who is also the Governor of the great county of Nandi, His Excellency Governor Stephen Sang, to come and run the program, which will include taking us through the journey of devolution in the form of a video. Governor Sang.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Karibuni sana, thank you, and welcome to this session. Again, Baba is in the house. Karibu, Your Excellency. The theme, an applause for Baba, please. The theme for this 9th Devolution Conference is for the people, for prosperity. Devolution as a catalyst of equality, equity, inclusion, and social justice. All of you will agree that if there is one Kenyan who personifies this theme, is none other than Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, Baba mwenyewe. And therefore, we are very honored, Baba, that you could find time to be here with us. You have been part and parcel of the devolution journey in this country, and we are excited as a devolution family to have you around. We will start this session with a video, and the technical team, can you share? We will start with a small video on this, capturing this theme on behalf of the Council of Governors. Let's have that video, then we will proceed to the remarks.
Kenya's devolution story is one of transformation, of power, resources, and responsibilities brought closer to the people, of voices heard, and of lives changed. From the vibrant urban centers to the serene countryside villages, devolution has touched every corner of our nation. But what does it truly mean for the people?
Devolution inamaanisha resources zimetufikia huku mashinani.
Service ililetwa kutoka juu mpaka chini.
Wale wamechaguliwa mashinani wanafika kwa ile sehemu kila pahali.
Over the last 12 years, county governments have been at the center of service delivery. While significant progress has been made, there is a pressing demand for increased accountability, transparency, and inclusive governance in addressing the needs of the people.
Services ambazo tulikuwa tunapata national government sasa tunaipata mashinani.
We are at a defining moment in Kenya's history. It is time. Voices and expectations of the people and take actions that lead to the realization of the promises of devolution.
Changamoto moja ya mkulima ni lack of funds.
Tuko wagonjwa watano, lakini farm machines are not working.
We usually don't have the support from the government when it comes to sickle cell.
Equity, inclusion, and social justice are not just ideals, they are constitutional tenets owed to the people of Kenya. Devolution has reshaped Kenya's governance structures, empowering counties to deliver essential services from pre-primary education to healthcare, agriculture extension, trade, infrastructure, water, sanitation, and housing.
Devolution imenisaidia sana. Kama si devolution singetokea. Ningekuwa tu nakaa mashinani naambiwa wanawake hawafai kufanya kazi, lakini juu ya devolution at least naweza jituma na napenda kazi yangu.
Despite the challenges since 2013, the impact of devolution is undeniable. You can see it, touch it, and feel it. Change is unfolding, one community at a time.
Before the unit was opened, we had a challenge. Most mothers opted to deliver at home, and we really had a lot of mortality. But once this unit was established, we are getting a lot of mothers are now coming to this hospital.
Wenye tuliletwa alikuwa 1.3. Hasa nimeweka huko for that time, ameongeza amefika mpaka 1.9.
Nilianza dialysis last year kwa hospitali hapa, na this service imetusaidia sana. Patient wanatoka mbali na the best service ni hapa. Kwa county government tunaomba bado tuongeze wengi.
We usually have a very long list of patients who needs the services around. So if more machines could be added, we can accommodate more patients.
I'm a farmer. I'm doing maize, sorghum, sunflower, cotton, and beans. The seeds were given out to us by the county government.
Nalima mboga na nalipa school fees. Kwa hiyo tunayo mambo kwa binda ya mbua ziyoka. Na yutu mambo kwa binda yonde. Tumake lambo kadoka ba tuka imambemba, tuka banda mama. Kedi yutu ina tena mwingine tunedana tena.
Kama iko kitu sasa inaleta roho pande hii na watu wameshambulia kupanda, ni mambo ya kahawa sasa hivi. Siku hizi hata wakina mama wanapanda, mzee amekatia mama. Sasa mama ako na akaunti yake analeta hapo. Sasa hii wakina mama wawajiliwa tena ikao yao.
Tumekuwa na changamoto sana za soko, upande wa soko, kwa sababu kuna madalali wengi wao wanaingilia famu imposio wakati wakija kwa mauzo yao.
Tunapata changamoto ya barabara. Inakuwa saa zingine nyanya ikiwa imeiva sana kwa shamba, nyingi inaharibikia kwa shamba kwa sababu ya barabara.
Huu mradi, haya maji yalianza kama ya community members.
Zamani ilikuwa chafu, ukienda kuichota unakanyaga matope chini ndio uchote maji. Maji saa hii imepita imeenda mpaka kwa maboma.
Mambo ya maji. Kuenda huko nilikuanga msimu. Unaenda huko safari 2 3, umechoka. Wakapiga wakasema, "Madhe, tunataka hii maji kufikia." Na mimi, fanyeni haraka, oneni vile niko. Basi ndio wakaniletea hiyo maji. Nilifurahi watoto yangu, niliona furaha.
Members wao ni wale watu hawana income ambayo wanaweza kutegemea. Tuko 600 members.
Mbele ni siku kukaa nyumba kubwa hii kama hii ya 2 bedroom. Niliishi kukaa ronda single room pale ya Praska.
Faida rabbi ngudan sababu zanda kwa rabbi male bilo aden ke ijabu findade qaba mahadi rabbi qaba bokaidur trop.
Kwa watoto imetunufaisha sana. Ya kwanza, hatukuwa na madarasa, tumejengewa madarasa. Kitambo tulikuwa tunahangaika sana, kwa kunakuwa na mafuriko, classes kunafurika, matope kila mahali, but now tumejengewa classes mpya za kisasa na tunashukuru serikali ya county sana kwa kutujengea.
Mbeleni kama hata alikuwa anakuja late, sasa hii anataka mwisho mapema akuwe mtoto wa kwanza juu kuna vitu ya kuchezea kupenda. Ningemuomba gavana wetu ajiri walimu na ajiri even the mentors, alafu aongezee walimu wengine kwa haya madarasa ndio hawa watoto waweze kupata haya masomo bora.
At the heart of good governance lies active civic engagement. Counties are championing transparency and accountability through civic education and public participation frameworks that involve citizens in decision making.
Siku za public participation zao wanafanyaga siku za soko, ambayo hiyo wakati huo ndio mfanyi biashara iko very busy.
But the conversation must not end there. Public participation is not just a constitutional requirement, it's the cornerstone of citizen-driven development. The dialogue between leaders and the people must remain dynamic, deliberate, and decisive.
Juzi tulienda huko public participation huko chini, maneno ya devolution.
sisi wananchi tulisikia maneno ni mzuri kwa devolution.
Civic engagement empowers communities to raise their voices, demand services, and push for change.
We are here only to seek for justice. We are not here to cause any chaos.
But for that change to last, it must be rooted in social justice. Governments must address systemic inequalities so that everyone has access to resources and opportunities, not just the privileged few, but also the marginalized, minority groups, the vulnerable, and persons with disabilities.
We have really benefited from the county government. When we need pambas, when we need sanitary pads, they have given us a listening ear.
Imetusaidia sana kwa sababu imetusaidia na vitu nyingi. Hata imetusaidia na wheelchairs, hatukuwa na wheelchairs. Hata shukrani kwenu mnisaidie.
Tunataka serikali ilete training kwa watu, kwa community. Wafunzwe right zetu, wafunzwe ile tunaweza. Sisi ni watu kama wale wengine. Now we have to do anything.
County governments have rolled out social protection initiatives, from feeding programs, cash transfers, and community support to affirmative action.
Chanjo bado zaendelea. Watoto wa miezi 9 mpaka miaka 14. Chanjo.
Inclusion is no longer a promise, it's a practice, but the work is not done. Counties must engage better at the grassroots, use data to track vulnerability, and implement targeted policies to ensure no one is left behind.
Nafurahia sana kuwa mzazi hapa. Tangu devolution ikuje, nimebenefit sana. Upande wa chakula iko sawa sababu mtoto wangu anakuja ameshiba.
My younger siblings are given 2 eggs, a packet of milk and lunch.
Lishe mashuleni na pesa mashuleni imesaidia watoto kuongezeka.
About the feeding program, it has improved the performance of the learners, because the learners get that milk, they will feel satisfied, and then as we continue in class.
Financing remains a major challenge for devolution. Counties continue to face delayed disbursements, inadequate funding, and legislative bottlenecks. To unlock progress, national and county governments, the private sector, and development partners must collaborate to finance devolved services. The national government must ensure timely and equitable revenue sharing, while counties must prioritize fiscal discipline, efficient use of resources, and improved local revenue collection. Only then can devolution thrive. Only then will services reach the people.
Kuna kazi kwenye tunafanya bila president au bila gavana. Tunataka kazi ifanywe na hiyo watu wote. Tuungane tu kwa moja, alafu tufanye kazi mzuri. Tu akipanga sisi tukae mzuri kwa mamesa, hata hiyo pesa yao watasanya mzuri, watakuwa mzuri.
The next chapter of devolution is ours to write, with the voices of the people heard and duty bearers taking deliberate action. We can accelerate the realization of equity, inclusion, and social justice for all. This is Kenya's story, a story still being written by 47 counties, by 50 million voices, by all of us.
services. This conference offers a critical opportunity to reflect on the progress made and to explore ways of strengthening and refining our current systems. By bringing it together, policymakers, development partners, and private sector, academia, civil society, and wananchi, we are fostering a collaborative environment where inclusive dialogue can drive actionable solutions. Together, we seek to enhance the effectiveness of devolved governance and ensure it continues to serve as a catalyst for equity, inclusion, and sustainable prosperity. In Kilifi County, we are painfully aware of the socio-economic disparities and the historical marginalization that have stifled our potential, from high rates of teenage pregnancies to limited access to health care in rural wards. These are not just development statistics, they are human rights violations. I'm reminded of the Shakahola massacre that remains a deep stain on Kenya's human rights record, a horrific reminder of what happens when the most basic rights are ignored. It must not be seen as an isolated incident, but as a warning sign of deeper structural and governance gaps. Both nationally and county governments must act decisively, not just to bring justice to the victims, but to ensure that such tragedy never happens again. Subnational governments must also integrate human rights-based approaches to planning, budgeting, and service delivery. That means involving wananchi in decisions that affect them. It means accountability not just upwards to national and county governments, but outward to the people we serve. We cannot go backwards on the aspects of devolution. And whereas I appreciate the stride made by the national government in releasing funds to the counties, delayed disbursements of funds is still a major challenge. And the persistent wrangles between the Senate and the National Assembly only worsens this concern. For devolution to work, we must stop the tug of war played in Parliament and work together for the greater good of the counties. That said, the governors need to be accountable and ensure that each and every monies that the senators fight for is for the benefit of the devolved functions, and it includes health, agriculture, water, and other essential services. 12 years since its inception, of the county governments, we stand at a crossroad, a moment not just to reflect, but to re-engineer and take stock of the gains and challenges of devolution. I'm truly delighted that the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Baba Raila Molo Odinga, has made his presence here to grace this occasion. Finally, I would like to conclude, for counties to truly become vehicles of equity and inclusion, they must go beyond the service delivery and embed the principles of justice and dignity into every aspect of governance. This requires a shift of mindset, investments in all systems that listen to and work for all people, and the political will to dismantle structural inequalities from the ground upwards. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, tunakushukuru sana wewe kwa kuwa mkunga au mwanzilishi wa ugatuzi katika Kenya. Asante sana.
Let's appreciate Minority Leader in the Senate. Asante sana. The next would be remarks by the Senate Majority Leader, Senator Aaron Cheruiyot, and the remarks will be made on his behalf by Senator Professor Margaret Kamar. Let's appreciate Professor Kamar as she comes and delivers this remarks on behalf of the Majority Leader, Senator Aaron Cheruiyot. Karibu, Professor.
Thank you, Governor Sang, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, the father of devolution, as we all know, the chairperson of the Council of Governors, Honorable FCPA Ahmed Abdullahi, the host governor, Honorable Gladys Wanga, the leader of minority who has just spoken, cabinet secretaries led by the Honorable Aden Duale, members of the judiciary who are here, members of the diplomatic corps who are here, members of parliament who are here, development partners, citizens of Kenya, ladies and gentlemen. Mine is going to be a brief one because I'm here, Your Excellency, for two things. One is to give an apology on behalf of the leader of majority, Senator Aaron Cheruiyot, who was supposed to be here but was caught up with some assignment and couldn't come. He gives his apology. Number two, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce very briefly the senators who are here. If you can be upstanding just for 1 minute, I would like to introduce the host senator who spoke yesterday, Moses Kachwang, the senator of Nandi, Senator Chirarkei, the senator of West Pokot, Senator Murgor, the senator of Elgeyo Marakwet, Senator Gisang, the senator of Tana River, or we call it River Tana, the Mheshimiwa Munkatana, the senator of Nyeri, Senator Wamatinga, the Honorable Senator Hamida, who is nominated, and the Senator Mutinda. Thank you very much. You may take your seats. If I have not seen you, I apologize. If you are a senator sitting somewhere I cannot see. With those remarks, Your Excellency, I will go straight away to read the message that came from the leader of majority from the Senate. It is with profound honor and immense privilege that I join you at this second biannual Devolution Conference following the transition from the annual Devolution Conference, and I've given his apology why he's not here. The Devolution Conference, and this one in particular, serves as a pivotal platform for pertinent stakeholders to exchange exemplary practices, share experiences, evaluate the accomplishments achieved in the implementation of devolution, and identify both opportunities and challenges that have been encountered in the last 11.5 years. This forum aims to facilitate necessary adjustments in pursuit of the effective execution of the devolved system of governance. It is imperative to acknowledge the enduring clamor for reformed constitution frameworks and a transformation of governance structure within the Republic of Kenya. The Constitution 2010, and we are happy that the Honorable Amolo Odinga is here with us, the Right Honorable, Your Excellency, is with us because you are the one who pushed so hard to have the Constitution of Kenya 2010 promulgated in 2010. When the Constitution was promulgated, it made provisions for a devolved system of governance as captured under Chapter 11 of the Constitution, and whose objects and principles are also provided for under Articles 174 and Articles 175 of the Constitution. And the roles are well stipulated between the two levels of government in Schedule 4 of the Constitution. Your Excellency and distinguished participants, it is in the facilitation of the functioning and operations of the devolved governments, the Constitution under Article 203(2) provides for a 15% of the equitable to be allocated to the county governments. The county governments may also receive additional allocations from the national revenue, either conditionally or unconditionally, under Articles 202(2) of the Constitution. Resources are also provided under Article 204(2) through the Equalization Fund to provide basic services including water, roads, health facilities, and electricity to marginalized areas to achieve the same level of development as other parts of the country in the principle of equity. The county governments are also empowered under Article 209 of the Constitution to raise their own revenue through what we call the own source revenue, in addition to the equitable revenue that is given by the national government. The Senate diligently fulfills its constitutional obligation of legislation, oversight, and representation concerning the formulation of the pertinent legislation related to revenue sharing, exemplified by the Division of Revenue Act, the County Allocation of Revenue Act, and the County Government's Additional Allocations Act. These legal provisions are paramount for the allocation of resources to devolved governments, which are indispensable for fostering socio-economic development and throughout the nation. Your Excellency, the devolved system of governance is founded upon the principles of being citizen-centric, rooted in equity, inclusion, and social justice. The execution of devolution is intricately woven into both national and international development frameworks. This alignment is articulated through initiatives such as the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the Kenya Vision 2030, the East African Community Vision 2060, and the African Union Agenda 2063, and the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. It is fundamental to appreciate the milestones and achievements that have been realized in various sectors since the implementation of devolution, which has been ongoing in the last almost 12 years. The devolved governments have made significant strides in the development of health facilities, human capital development, development of modern early childhood education centers and vocational training institutions, provision of platforms for public participation, industrial development in processing and value addition, infrastructure development, promoting agricultural production and development of water infrastructure, among others, and we appreciate that from our county executives. From where we sit in the Senate, Your Excellency, the county governments have also made progress in addressing issues of inequalities, marginalization, and inclusion of vulnerable members of society, such as the children, the youth, women, persons living with disabilities, the elderly, through providing opportunities and financial assistance, which are vital attributes to social justice and inclusion. Distinguished participants, Your Excellency, it's also imperative to recognize that the devolved system of governance grapples with a plethora of challenges that persist as significant impediments to effective implementation. Among these challenges are, first, the incomplete transfer of devolved functions alongside their corresponding resources. We are very happy that His Excellency the President yesterday did announce the gazettement, which has actually been done, of a good number of the functions that have now been released. And we are very grateful for that. The next agenda would therefore be for the IGTRC to start costing these functions so that they don't just get devolved, but devolution be followed by the resources. There is also the challenge of delayed disbursement of the equitable share between the national government and the county governments. Of course, there is also the challenge of misappropriation of funds by county governments, as we have identified from where we sit. There are leadership disputes also that have culminated in impeachments and the emergence of factions within county leadership, not just in the executive, but also in the county assemblies. In this regard, there is need for appropriate actions to be taken through consultations and cooperation among all relevant stakeholders to provide the much-needed reforms that may assist the devolved governments in the achievements of the objectives of devolution, as well as the fulfillment of the national values and principles and the principles of governance. This takes cognizance of the aspirations of all Kenyans for a government based on the essential values of human rights, equity, freedom, democracy, social justice, and the rule of law as espoused in the preamble of our Constitution. This devolution conference, therefore, Your Excellency, serves as an invaluable platform for introspection and assessment of the feedback regarding both the achievements and deficiencies, allowing for a strategic recalibration aimed at transforming county governments into robust institutions that catalyze socioeconomic advancement within our republic. With those remarks, Your Excellency, I want to thank you and thank all the participants for listening to this message from the Senate. Thank you.
Let's appreciate Professor Kamar again. It's now my pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Health, the one and only Honorable Aden Bare Duale, to come and make his remarks. Karibu sana Waziri. Let's appreciate Waziri as he comes to make his remarks. Karibu.
Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, a man who has initiated me into politics in 2005. Your Excellency, the Governor of Homabay, Honorable Gladys Wanga, one of my very, very good legislator when I was the leader of majority, the chair of the Council of Governors, Excellencies governors, deputy governors, colleagues from both the Senate and the National Assembly, colleagues from both levels of government, our development partners, Honorable Excellency, former Prime Minister, as we come to the day 2 of the Devolution Conference, let me first extend my heartfelt appreciation to Homabay County for its warm hospitality, and also to the Right Honorable Raila Odinga for his enduring leadership in advancing equity and justice. The theme for the people, for posterity, devolution as a catalyst for equity, inclusion, and social justice, reflects devolution as our constitutional and moral compass. It reaffirms our past 2 days as a powerful driver of an inclusive prosperity, tangible equity, and effective governance. Social justice, Honorable Prime Minister, demands that every Kenyan has an equitable access to opportunities. He has equitable access to protections, and he has equitable access to essential services. A goal that devolution advances by bringing government closer to the people, correcting historical imbalances, and ensuring fairness in the distribution of resource allocation. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Prime Minister, guided by this principle, our health reforms under the universal health coverage focuses on 4 key pillars: human resource for health, making sure equitable deployment of skilled health workers, integrating community health promoters into the formal system, and scaling up specialized training to ensure we have skilled care in every county. And Honorable Prime Minister, as a person who worked with you during the 2010 Constitution, I am still and will always believe that devolution was right, devolution has done the best, and the days when decisions were made for our country from the street of Harambee House or Harambee Street, where you have one side the office of the president, and the other side you have the National Treasury, and all other related offices, including the Judiciary, the Public Service Commission, the Office of the Attorney General, Parliament. I think that is what made us go for devolution. So I still and believe, and that's why I want to confirm that I am one minister who has a very good working relationship, and I want to thank the leadership of the Council of Governors, their CECs, for health, and the entire health team at the counties, that because of my belief in devolution, and health is devolved, I work with the Council of Governors and the entire leadership at our counties very well. On health financing, restructuring through social health insurance with the dedicated funds for primary health care, chronic illness and emergencies, while we are leveraging on public-private partnership to expand our physical space. These health reforms are already delivering tangible gains, reducing maternal mortality, expanding our ICU and HDU capacity along our counties and our referral hospitals, improving our immunization coverage, and enhancing access to oncology, dialysis, and other specialized services. However, challenges remain, including limited physical space, health workforce gaps, emerging health threats, and inequities in access. But these are addressed through devolution, innovation sharing, and collaboration and partnership across our counties. Honorable former Prime Minister and Excellencies Governors, ultimately, social justice in healthcare demands quality care that is accessible, affordable, and dignity. And from Homabay to Turkana, Mandera and Nairobi, it's for this reason that the ministry's reforms and the spirit of devolution reinforces and amplifies each other. Our work is about the people, their dignity, their opportunities, and their future. We have both the responsibility and the means to make social justice a lived reality through a well-governed, well-resourced, people-centered health system. Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, before I conclude, I want to make a confession. Because there are many people here who say the former Prime Minister is the father of devolution. Maybe they have read in the newspapers, maybe they heard through the TV, but I was there on the table when you fought for devolution as a member of parliament for Langata and as a prime minister. You fought for devolution in Naivasha in the morning and in the wee hours of the night, navigating the political turmoil of that time. You fought for three things among many things. Three were irreducible minimum for you, because I was a member of ODM, and I'm happy Senator of Siaya and my long-term lawyer who defended me in many petitions, election petitions, is sitting here. And also, the man who first signed my nomination certificate to go to Parliament, Professor Anyang' Nyong, is sitting here. You fought for many things, but you had three irreducible minimum. You achieved two. You achieved devolution, and you achieved, and you helped us as a community, the Muslim community, the Qadi's court to be entrenched in the Constitution. And I can tell you without fear of contradiction that when history is written, the Muslim community in our country will remember your position. But you fought for also a parliamentary system of government. Kenyans fight every election because of bombers. You wanted to devolve the presidential election through a parliamentary system of government, where one day a son in Turkana or from Kuria will ascend and become the Prime Minister of Kenya. That did not happen. It didn't happen, but at least in everything that you look for, you don't get 100%. We got a good constitution with a very good Bill of Rights. Devolution was key. And just to pick on the region where I come from, former Prime Minister, before devolution, the 3 districts of Northeastern and the 3, which are now the 3 counties of Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera, used to receive a paltry 1 billion shilling in one financial year for development. Today, because of devolution, Garissa, Wajir, Mandera combined receives close to 30 billion. That is because of what you did as our leader then and our leader now, that you fought for the Bill of Rights that we have today. We fought together with the great minds here, an independent judiciary, an independent parliament. But because this is a devolution conference, I want to thank you on behalf of the people that were with you, some here, some who are not there. The challenges we faced in making sure that devolution was entrenched, that governance was given to the people of Kenya, and the sharing of their resources was given to the people of Kenya. And that is why, again, you have remained consistent and fidelity to devolution. A number of times, colleagues, my former colleagues in Parliament, National Assembly, ask me, why is the former Prime Minister sometimes hard on us when it comes to the Senate? And I want to say it here. The Senate is the custodian of devolution. The former Prime Minister made his time with Professor Nyang' Nyong'o and many people who also became senators. But today, the custodian of devolution is Senate. That is the institution created by the Constitution. And just to conclude, no community. Devolution was to make sure every Kenyan, regardless of his community, religion, and his location, are equal before the Constitution and before God. And that is why we want to say, if you want to aspire to be a leader in the Republic of Kenya, you must have certain credentials. You must be ready to speak for the El Molos on the shores of Lake Turkana. You must speak for all religions, and you must speak for all communities. And you must speak for Kenya. You can speak for your community, you can speak for your religion, and you can speak for your region. Kenya is one indivisible nation with one flag, one map, a member of the East African community. And in conclusion, on behalf of the Ministry of Health, I reaffirm our belief together we can ensure devolution truly delivers for the people, for posterity, and for justice. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the Republic of Kenya.
Another round of applause for Waziri. It's now my honor to invite our gracious host, the Governor for Homabay, Her Excellency Gladys Wanga, to make her remarks, and in turn invite the Chair of COG. Karibu sana.
Asante sana, Governor Sang. Our chief guest today, the Right Honorable the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, The Chair of the Council of Governors, His Excellency FCPA Ahmed Abdullahi, fellow governors who are present today, the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Minority Leader of the Senate, and members of Parliament present, members of the National Assembly present here today, deputy governors, led by my own deputy governor, who I want to recognize, Yugi Magwanga. Thank you very much. Members of county assemblies and their speakers, led by our speaker there, Polika Pokombo, and the majority leader, Richard Ogindo. Thank you very much. County Executive Committee members, led by the County Executive Committee members of Homabay. If you're anywhere, please rise for recognition. Thank you very much, Dr. Agili and Engineer Munga. Members of constitutional commissions and independent officers, development partners, private sector and academia. The first gentleman of Homabay, Mr. Wanga, please just rise for recognition. Thank you very much for bringing me from the Kano side here to Homabay. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Your Excellency, with your permission, I would like to introduce the local leaders who are present here today, because we are hosting this not just as a county government, but together with our national leaders and members of the county assembly, and as a region as well. So the local leaders present, please rise for recognition. Our local MPs. I'd like to start with Honorable Millie Mabona, Whip of the National Assembly, Minority Whip, who I think has stepped out, and Honorable Dr. Lilian Gogo, who has also stepped out. Honorable Dr. Ivo Bara, please just wave, Member of Parliament for Kabondo Kasipul. Honorable Martin Owino, Ward Chief, Member of Parliament for Ndiwa. Honorable Dr. Joyce Osogo Bensuda, County MP for Homabay. Honorable Adipo Andrew Okwome, Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo. We have also the Speaker of the County Assembly of Nairobi, who is also a son of the soil here in Homabay. Thank you for rising. Honorable Peter Pondokaluma, our host, Member of Parliament for Homabay Town Constituency. Our Honorable Senator for Homabay County, Senator Moses Kajwang, who is also Chair of the Public Accounts Committee of the Senate. Members of County Assembly of Homabay, if you're here, please rise for recognition. Thank you very much. Those are the honorable members of the County Assembly of Homabay. It is my great honor to welcome you to this second day of the Devolution Conference 2025. I see most of you are in high spirits, a sign that Homabay has warmly embraced you. The pleasant weather, the vibrant ambience, hospitable people, the rich culture, and the delicious cuisine have always been kind to our guests, and I'm confident that you have seen, as our Senator said yesterday, that something good can come from Homabay. The theme of the day is human rights and social justice. I am especially proud to welcome to DevCon 2025 in Homabay my party leader, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga Baba, who has a long track record of fighting for human rights and social justice. He's the father of Katiba 2010 and the father of devolution. His steadfast support and championship of devolution, sometimes even remaining alone in that fight, instills immense confidence in us. It feels as though we are in safe hands, ready to share first-hand accounts of our progress and challenges in his presence. With Baba, we share in the belief that counties should be given more funding. Simply put, funds must follow devolved functions. Upon devolving the functions of health, agriculture, roads, and water, we ought to have seen serious restructuring in line ministries to release funds to devolved units. The sub-theme for Devolution Conference 2025, Re-engineering County Governments to Accelerate Development and Close the Socioeconomic Divide, demands a bold examination of devolution successes and setbacks after 13 years. Many inspiring stories of devolution's impact have been shared across the 47 counties. I want to share on our Homabay's achievements on county functions and impactful devolution stories with our successful programs. Let me start with a story I love to repeat in Homabay, that we are the bay of endless potential, but with limited resources. The vision is an elephant, Kaliech, with resources like a rabbit, Apuoyo. In education, in the last 10 years since devolution, from 2013 to 2022, we had constructed 23 classrooms. In the last 2.5 years, we have been able to build 243 early years classrooms under the Ondoa Kaunda initiative, ensuring that our young children learn in dignified facilities. The hallmark of this initiative is a labor-based approach, giving each of our eye centers 1 million shillings for construction by the local community. Our Fins to Swim scholarship supports 623 bright but needy students, about 40% of whom are girls, through secondary school up to university. The Fundi Mangula program has enrolled 600 youth who have graduated and another 600. Now we are having 1,200 students going through a vocational training scholarship program. We partner with KCB in this program under the KCB to Jiajiri. Some of our Fundi Mangula beneficiaries have been involved in development of projects like the Ondoa Kaunda and the Affordable Housing Project. Our bursary program supports over 20,000 beneficiaries every year, 800 from each of the 40 wards identified through the village cluster public participation framework. In the 3 years of my administration since 2022, we have a cumulative number of 81,860 beneficiaries. In healthcare, we have used our on-source revenue that we grew to a high of 1.729 billion in the financial year 2024-25, using the cashless, fully automated system to fund critical services. At the level 5 Homabay County Teaching and Referral Hospital, we are constructing a 5-story accident and emergency block, which will be complete by December, and a funeral parlor, which is already complete, to give our people a dignified send-off. Our referral hospital features a new outpatient block, an upgraded maternity wing, and other improvements using the resources that we've been able to raise. The Health Facility Improvement Fund has upgraded 70 facilities in various parts of the county, including Rachuanyo East, Sena in Fangano Island, Your Excellency, which you came and opened with us in Soklo up there, Pala, the Tomboya Health Facility in Bita, and among others. On wellness and climate change interventions, we have set up green spaces, including the Governor's Park and the Arboretum, which you have just visited this afternoon, and the sports programs, including the Genoa Governor's Cup every year, and partnership with the Akakoro Football Academy, who are setting up a modern academy in Diwa. On trade and markets, for our community empowerment through the Inua Boda Boda initiative, each of our 40 Boda Boda circles across the 40 wards received 1 million shillings on grant to be able to empower them, to be able to get them to get their own motorbikes instead of riding on behalf of others. In efforts to bolster commerce and give dignity to our traders, modern markets are currently under construction in Rodikopany and Kendube, Misambi, as well as Sindo, Luanda, and Diwa. Projects that are delivering transformative economic spaces. On county roads, we continue to invest in accessibility and mobility, opening up 518 kilometers of new roads, rehabilitating 319 kilometers, maintaining 551 kilometers, and reconstructing and maintaining over 6,000 culverts, which offer critical lifelines that connect our markets, sports grounds, and communities, ensuring cohesion and opportunity across every ward. In agriculture, we have transformed Homabay into an agricultural producer county. We have harnessed our agricultural potential with projects and investments, and the results are promising. We lead in national production of several value chains. We are #1 producers of sweet potatoes, #2 producers of cotton, only #2 to Lamu, #1 producers of groundnuts, #1 producers of sunflower, #1 producers of soya beans, #3 producers of millet, and #17 producer of coffee in the country. We are now growing coffee in Homabay. Mbesha is coming to our farmers for them to uplift their livelihoods. My passion in agricultural productivity, the intersection of food security, agro-processing, trade, job creation, and enhanced farmers' incomes, leading to tremendous economic growth to deliver Homabay City in a decade. Full devolution with attendant funding will give good national economic outcomes in the 47 counties. In the next national planning cycle, like Vision 2030, devolution should be a key pillar. We commend the current administration for allocating 415 billion to counties, although, Your Excellency, you had said we should get to at least 450 billion. And the council had said at least 530 billion. So we are at 415 and we appreciate, but we hope that we can get to even higher amounts. Your Excellency, to promote inclusion, 2 days ahead of the Devolution Conference, we ran a hackathon competition which brought young people from all 47 counties, and they were called ethical hackers. They were coding, and the title of that was Hacking 48 Governments in 48 Hours. We saw impressive solutions on effective public participation, health diagnostics, and managing road accidents through monitoring speed. In technology, we will involve the youth and get their innovation on board. As I conclude, Your Excellency, Prime Minister, allow me to once again really thank my colleague governors, led by the Chair of the Council of Governors, for accepting that Homabay would be the host of this year's Devolution Conference. It looked like a pipe dream when we began to discuss it with Senator Kajwang when we were just elected. But we are very, very glad that colleague governors accepted that this small county, sometimes considered on the very far end of the world, be able to host this conference. I'd like to thank the chair of the steering committee, Governor Mutahi Kahiga, who has made several trips to Homabay in the process of planning. I'd like to thank the COG Secretariat team, led by the CEO, Madam Mary Mwiti, and the entire Secretariat. They have made trips here, they have spent sleepless nights. I know that seeing that this conference has become such a huge success gives you great satisfaction. I'd also like to thank very much my team, the county team that worked together with the COG team to deliver on this conference. Finally, I look forward to hosting you tonight to a sumptuous dinner at the Governor's Park. Tafadhali, this evening, there's dinner and ohangla at the Governor's Park. Please do not miss to attend the dinner this evening. Erokamana hinya, God bless you, and welcome once again to Homabay County. Let me take this opportunity to welcome to the stage the indomitable chair of the Council of Governors, the Governor of Wajir County, the land of camels, Governor FCPA Ahmed Abdullahi. Tafadhali tumpigie makofi our chairman as he comes to deliver his address.
Very good. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Governor Gladys Wanga. Our chief guest for the day the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Prime Minister, Excellency Governors and Deputy Governors who are here, the Cabinet Secretary for Health, the Honorable Aden Duale, Senators, Honorable Members of the National Assembly, representatives of the Judiciary, leaders of Homabay County and the Greater Nyanza region, Excellency Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Principal Secretaries, Speakers and members of the county assemblies, all national and county government representatives, private sector, civil society representatives, development partners, international delegates, all delegates, ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo. Good afternoon. Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, let me take a few minutes, first of all, to introduce the governors who are here, who will not have an opportunity to come and say something at the podium. All Excellency Governors, please. We have the host Governor, Gladys Wanga. We have my Vice Chair, I think, who is outside. We're expecting the Prime Cabinet Secretary to be here any time. He's probably waiting to receive him. He's gone out with Gladys. And then we have our whip of the Council of Governors. Your Excellency, the Council of Governors has 3 executive committee members who run the affairs of the Secretariat together with the Secretariat. And it's the Chair, the Vice Chair, and the whip is Governor Stephen Sang of Nandi. We have Governor Muthomi Njuki, who is our Chair of the Health Committee of the Council of Governors. We have Governor Cecily Mbarire, Governor of Embu County. She chairs resource mobilization for us. We have our Chair of Agriculture, Speaker Emeritus, who is the Governor of Bungoma, Kenneth Lusaka, Excellency Kenneth Lusaka. We also have Governor of Siaya County, James Orengo, Excellency James Orengo. We have the Governor of Kisumu County, who chairs for us the Committee on Lands, Housing, Urban Development, Excellency Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. And Your Excellency, the many deputy governors also in attendance. But okay, we have other governors there. Governor Irungu Kangata of Muranga, Governor Simon Kachapin of West Pokot, Governor Dr. Wilbur Otichilo of Vihiga County, and Governor Professor Hilary Barchok of Bomet County. Thank you very much. Excellency, Right Honorable, there were other governors here, but some of them had to attend to other matters. The others? Your Excellency, I was only looking at this side. On that other side, we have Governor Julius Malombe, Governor of Kitui County. He's a returnee governor like me. There are 8 of us who served in the first cohort and were out and were re-elected. Your Excellency, I had a written speech here, but because we're all saying the same thing, I decided today I'll not read it. I'll just talk off the cuff, because the speech that people are waiting for is your speech. But I'll just say a few things, and I hope by the time I finish, the Right Honorable the Prime Cabinet Secretary will be here so that he can speak before you. You are our chief guest for today. So we're also trying to avoid any protocol hitches. Your Excellency, may I take this opportunity to welcome you officially to DEFCON 2025. I want to say that in Kenya, There are different sets of truths. It appears that everyone makes their own set of truths. But there are three sets of truths that we all seem to agree on here. And you've heard that from the speakers who were here before me as well. Truth number one is that devolution has worked for Kenya. It has delivered. It has done its bit to equalize this country. The Right Honorable Prime Minister, we are not all students of history. No one in this room understands probably better than you. No one understands better than you in this room. Maybe the only other person who I would say has a lot of institutional memory and knowledge on our political history here is Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. No one understands better than you the history of Kenya, the first administration that we had, the system of Majimbo, how the Senate was killed, how they were made to serve the remaining bit of their term in the National Assembly then, and how a seat was created for each senator in their rural district, and with it ended devolution. With it ended Majimbo. Your Excellency, no one understands better than you the struggle for the second liberation, the various drafts that we had, the Yash Balgai team, the Bomas draft, and what then became the final consensus position of forming 47 governments based on the 1992 district boundaries. Devolution was your fight. It remains your fight, Your Excellency. I'll just speak to a few of the issues that we keep raising. Your Excellency, as Chair of Council, who is serving his second term, I have appreciated that, yes, devolution has been accepted. Yes, it has been given some resources. Yes, it's doing a lot of good work. But the centralist mindset in the national bureaucracy still regards devolution as a spoiler of things. It's still the scapegoat. It attracts more flack, more blame than resources. We still quarrel about the quantum of resources. And Gladys had mentioned that this year, as part of the MOU that you had with His Excellency the President, you had yourself suggested 450. We probably got the highest increase in a long time at about 30 billion, but we're still at 415. We're still struggling with issues to do with timely releases and timely disbursements. And what this does, Your Excellency, is that we end up in a situation where a nurse at Kenyatta National Hospital receives her salary at the end of the month, but in some counties, they have to wait for 3 months because not all counties have arrangements with commercial banks. We still contend with the question of respecting the functional integrity of the county governments, the question of clawbacks of functions that have been devolved, and the question of resources following functions. There's still a lot of duplication. There are things that ought to be done by the counties, which are still being financed through national government ministries, departments, and agencies. Your Excellency, counties have to still contend, and this is a matter that needs to be looked into, with a duplicity of oversight. Our understanding as governors was that the first level of oversight for the county governments was the county assemblies, and that governors will then be called to the Senate not as the first level of oversight, but to clarify certain things, probably audit reports, annual audit reports. And in fact, having served in the first cohort of governors, we only used to get invitations from the PIC-PAC committee then. But now it's become customary that governors have to be called by departmental committees of the Senate. Your Excellency, whilst to date, not a single MCA, not a single member of parliament has had to be recalled. We have had at least 4 governors impeached, and I think there have been as many as 7 or 8 attempts. I had it on my phone. I can't remember offhand. How many? Mary? 8 attempted impeachments, many of whom were salvaged at Senate. The question then begs, Your Excellency, is it only governors? Are Kenyans only electing the wrong governors? Is it only governors that are so bad that they have to be impeached and can't finish their term? Of course, we have one instance of a deputy president that has been impeached. And up to date, I don't think we have a clear impeachment law for governors that sets the threshold. We're still relying on the constitutional provisions and the question of the County Governments Act. Your Excellency, the weaponization of the fight against corruption is another matter that we have to address openly. If you look at the annual budget, it's 10 to 13% of the annual budget that gets devolved, which means 87 to 90% of the budget is still sitting at the center. But this week, Your Excellency, the national media had headlines about corruption in counties, trying to take the thunder out of the Devolution Conference. It's as if the only thing the counties do is corruption. It is not the case. May I also take this opportunity to welcome the Prime Cabinet Secretary. You're most welcome, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Karibu. I was buying a little bit of time so that you can come in. Thank you. So, Your Excellency, I'll move much faster. So I was talking about corruption. Yesterday, His Excellency, the President, I think, in a very open and clear manner, spoke to the question of what I call non-executive corruption. Corruption in other arms of government. Your Excellency, as a Council of Governors, we feel that the fight against corruption has unfairly targeted governors, and it has been a case of calling devolution a bad name, so that along the way, there's a reason to kill it. That's not to say there's no corruption in counties. We have admitted as Kenyans that corruption pervades every aspect of our life. All we're saying is, let's fight all corruption. Your Excellency, I'm reminded that a lot of the governors who left office are in dire straits economically. Would actually want to be told how many of the choppers at Wilson belong to governors or former governors. Some of our colleagues who left office cannot afford to buy fuel. Yesterday, we heard how there is an impending law to give pension to MCAs. MPs have pension. Why can't governors have pension? Why do we want to pride as a nation that our governors, some of whom have served 2 terms, don't even have, in fact, had it not been for SHA, probably, medical cover? Your Excellency, my colleague from Garissa usually says being a governor is like working in a landmine. You have to buy your peace at every level. I don't think that is what devolution was meant to be, Your Excellency. And I'm saying these things because, coming back to the truths, the second truth is that you are the father of devolution. And I feel comfortable saying these things in your presence because I know you can address them and address all of us effectively on them. And the last truth, Your Excellency, before I call the Prime Cabinet Minister, Prime Cabinet Secretary rather, is that you remain the underwriter of political stability in Kenya. Your detractors will say all manner of things. The fact of the matter is that we almost lost this country as a result of the Gen Z protests and demonstrations, which turned into riots. You were magnanimous enough to allow members of your party to join government as ministers so that Kenya can be stable. Your Excellency, without Kenya being stable, a lot of these counties will be no more because the architecture of our financial system here is that we depend largely on equitable share to provide services. So I want to ask you to continue being the father of devolution, the underwriter of devolution, and the stabilizer of the politics of Kenya. I thank you. And with that, Your Excellency, may I invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary to make his remarks before we invite you as our chief guest for today. That's how it has traditionally been. Prime Cabinet Secretary, please.
Homabay hoye! Homabay hoye! Umwami, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, all governors present, cabinet secretaries present, all our legislators who are present, all MCAs in the hall, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I will try and just make some 2 or 3 points, and then I will hand over my written remarks to the Chair of the Council, so that it can go into your library for further conversation at a later stage. So I'll completely reduce my remarks. But I just want to say that I'm happy. There's usually a phrase in English, they say, in the nick of time. I had seen the program and I was supposed to be scheduled to take the podium at about 4. But thanks to technology, because then I was able to realize that Umwami Raila has arrived, and I had to adjust my engagements elsewhere so that I can be here with him. So, and of course, let me give accolades to Governor Gladys Wanga and her team in the county for putting together a very, very colorful and important function for governors and for the country. Your Excellency Raila, we are standing here because devolution, in a way, is the product of different factions of our political landscape coming together. You will recall that after 2007-2008 elections, the Honorable Raila Odinga and the late Mwai Kibaki brought together what we commonly call the Grand Coalition Government. In the Grand Coalition Government, I was assigned the role of being Deputy Prime Minister and also Minister for Local Government. And through the leadership and guidance of the Honorable Raila and the late Mwai Kibaki, I spearheaded the sessional paper on devolved government under the Constitution of 2010, and also to ensure the 6 primary pieces of legislation to anchor the process of devolution and to have them ready on time for the general elections was a difficult task. The Prime Minister was very clear then that we must deliver on ensuring that we get to the next general election with devolution properly anchored and ready to go. So we did that, and in that parliament, the sessional paper was approved, and attached to the sessional paper were 6 pieces of legislation, which today formed the basis and the foundation for the devolved system of government. So I want to confirm what the chair of the governors was just saying a few minutes ago, that it is not fiction, it is a fact that Raila was at the center of ensuring that devolution takes root. Now, let me come to another very quick point. Maybe it has been said by previous speakers, but I normally wear my other hat once in a while to look at numbers. And in the past 11 years, we are now in the 12th, in terms of the consolidated figure of equitable share in revenue, county governments have received 3.6 trillion Kenya shillings, consolidated in the last 12 years. I will not go into the debate as to how you have utilized those resources. I think the best judges are the residents of your counties, and of course, the Auditor General, who from time to time is charged with the responsibility of scrutinizing how public resources have been utilized. Let me also highlight that through the media and previous contributors, there's been a lot of conversation around efficiency, proper utilization of resources, management of the payroll systems across the 47 countries, the effect of mismanagement to taxpayers. So I will not want to speak too much to that. But let me just highlight that we also have a record that there are about 688 delayed projects across 34 counties, valued at about 24 billion Kenya shillings. And in 33, there are also about 40 unutilized projects in 10 counties amounting to about 400 million Kenya shillings. These are issues that we need to look at. And abandoned projects, abandoned or maybe neglected. In 33 counties, we get a figure of about 20 billion worth of abandoned projects. That, again, becomes a matter of grave concern and critical action from our leaders across the board. Your Excellency, let me just pick up one more issue. Well, two more issues, really. One is that good policies are anchored on accurate and hygienic data, whether it is at the national level, at the county level, or even at sectoral level. I would want to urge that all county governments, if they can work systematically to strengthen their county statistical departments and capacity, so that accurate and hygienic data can be generated so that we can have a strong basis, data-driven insights into the challenges that face all our counties. Let me also flag something that we need to address, and I mean no ill will, but I'll give a very specific example. And I speak to this because it touches on the portfolio of foreign affairs directly. Sometimes how we manage investments and foreign investments in our counties is absolutely critical. Let me give you the example of a regrettable case in Meru County involving Leopard Rock Lodge. This was a luxury ecotourism facility which was built by a French investor at a cost of 500 million shillings. In 2019, the previous county administration, I'm not talking of the current one, I'm saying the previous one. That's why I said I mean no ill will. The previous county administration officials allegedly orchestrated forceful eviction of the investor, leading to the destruction of the lodge's infrastructure within Meru National Park. The investor, a French national, had legally leased the land and invested in this facility. But because of local politics, the damage was caused. This gentleman went to court. The courts ruled in favor of the investor, awarding compensation for breach of contract and unlawful eviction. The matter escalated internationally when the French embassy raised concerns with our national government, highlighting the damage to bilateral relations and investor confidence. Ultimately, in May 2025, the national government intervened at a cost of hundreds of millions of shillings, shifting the burden to taxpayers and underscoring how local missteps can impose national costs. So I thought this forum would be important for me to make a passionate appeal to Kenyans in all our 47 counties and leaders in all our 47 counties that competition for foreign direct investment is absolutely essential for growth, for employment, for revenue. And if we do not respect the rule of law in those counties, we cause a lot of damage and the consequences can be very grave. So I wish to encourage that we take corrective action and ensure that investments in our respective counties are properly safeguarded. Finally, let me just talk to the issue that still remains a crisis across the board. And this is garbage collection, solid waste management. 12 years into devolution, we still grapple with huge heaps of waste, blight in our urban and rural landscapes alike, posing severe threats to public health, the environment, and indeed our national dignity. Let us look at this area carefully. Garbage is big business. It's big business. You all know it. Your experts have told you about it. The question is, who is benefiting from this big business? Are we all losing? That, again, I pose as a rhetorical question to the leadership as we review our 12 years of devolution. Perhaps I may want to provoke the leadership of the Council of Governors. Perhaps, if it is not already there, perhaps we can introduce a rewarding innovation and sanctioning mechanism for counties that prove themselves in terms of waste management. Perhaps you can create awards where the resource allocation is increased if a county can properly demonstrate that they are able to deal with the solid waste challenge effectively, and those that may not be able to do so perhaps can be sanctioned so that they can also pull up their socks and not pull the other counties down. It might be, especially in this era of climate-related issues which are in vogue and which are important, maybe we should start looking for the Green County of the Year, the one that really steps out and is able to demonstrate that they are managing this particular challenge and in the process benefit from an elevated allocation during the revenue sharing mechanism. I'm speaking when I know there are legislators here, so perhaps they can refine this better as they reflect on some of these things. So I think I end there. But most important, devolution is and remains the most critical innovation within Kenya's constitutional framework. And whatever the challenges we face, I think it's important to acknowledge that the governors and their teams have made a difference in our society, and we challenge them to continue making that difference and making it even better as we go into the future. Thank you for listening to me. And now, I've been asked by the chair of the Council of Governors to request everybody to be upstanding so that we can usher in Umwami Raila Odinga so that he can come and give the final address. Kama kuna wimbo weka juu.
Thank you. This is Asante. Thank you very much. You may be seated. The Prime Cabinet Secretary, Mwanawa Anna, my friend, the Chairman of the Council of Governors, our host today, the Governor of the great country of Homabay, all governors who are here, all honorable members of Parliament, distinguished guests, now wana Homabay, hamjambo. Hamjambo. Osaure Asante sana. I usually call my brother there Mwana wa Ana. And he has done a good job of introducing me here to this audience. I came earlier. I did not know that I was scheduled to talk at 5 o'clock. But I said, now that I'm here, because I'm here, I need to be given a chance to greet the people. So we are very happy that the county of Homabay is hosting this conference this year. Now we've been here just a few months ago when we had a very electrifying Madaraka Day 2 months ago. And it looks like Devolution 2025 is not any different. I was very happy and pleased when I arrived here, and I was taken to a park, just a small park in the Homabay, where this county is trying to remember a very great son of this county, the late Honorable Homabay. I was very, very pleased indeed, because Homabay is actually was the architect of the devolution. I myself was very passionate about devolution, but Mbai had understood it much better than anybody else. So when we went to Bomas of Kenya, because I had hired him as my consultant. So when we went to Bomas of Kenya, and the debate started in earnest, and then I asked the chairman to give Mbai a chance to address the audience. When he spoke that day in Bomas of Kenya, and he spoke for nearly 10 minutes without break. And by the time he finished, the whole hall backed into cheers, and they all cheered by and said that that gentleman should be the chairman of the Devolution Committee. And that is how it became, that Mumbai became the chair of the Devolution Committee. And as the chair of the Devolution Committee, he navigated very dangerous corners, because as you know, I've been mentioning several times that devolution had then and even today very powerful enemies. He was able to create proper benchmarks to be met, and because of that he became a marks person. And as I've said several times, Mbai would not see the new constitution. In broad daylight, in front of his children, they moved in to his house and shot him and fatally wounded him. So it is fitting that today we are here actually celebrating this day in Homabay, not very far away from Mbai's home, right just next door here. And today I really want to make an appeal to the Council of Governors, because Mbai left a young family, young wife and children. And if the Council of Governors can see it fit that you create a kind of a fund, a small fund, you can just put in 5,000 shillings a month, that will go a long way to help the family of the little Mumbai. It's an appeal. But then, let's get back to business. And let me begin by declaring a familiar interest. I believe in devolution. I believe in more, not less devolution. I believe in a balance of power between Nairobi and the counties. None should stand in the way of the other. I believe in strong county executives oversighted by equally strong county assemblies. I believe in a Kenya that sees the strength of each of the 47 counties as the strength of Kenya. But let me say, county government are supposed to be oversighted by county assemblies, not the Senate. So therefore, it is unnecessary for Senate to be summoning governors to go to appear before senators in Nairobi. Only the public accounts and the public investment committees should summon, not even governors, the chief executives of the county government. It's a waste of time, all the time summoning governors to come to appear before parliamentary committees. Centralism still has strong supporters, but I believe its days are in the past. Centralism comes with some bad habits. It thrives on keeping the whole country waiting for Nairobi to make decisions on very local issues that Nairobi knows little or nothing about. Devolution beats centralism at allowing local people to make decisions on local issues. Decisions affecting only Homabay should be taken in Homabay or any other country for that matter. Only decisions affecting the whole country should be taken by the national executive in Nairobi. I believe local policymakers bring more insight to local issues, are more likely to be more accountable, transparent, traceable, and named and shamed. But people are now looking for more than proximity. They are looking for performance, productivity, and partnership at every level of leadership. People want counties that are economic powerhouses, not mere administrative units. And you know, we're here because of historical circumstances. We had bigger units, you had regions which had what you call economics of scale. But enemies of devolution undermined that arrangement. Our focus must now be on leveraging devolution to achieve increased productivity and delivery of efficient and quality of services. Devolution for the people, for prosperity. People need more integration and coordination, not just between the county and national government, but also between counties. We want to see Wajir, for instance, having more collaboration with Garissa or Machakos with Kajiado, and complement each other instead of competing for destruction. So I want to share some reflections on how devolution can be revolutionized and how county and national governments can adopt and lead the country into an equitable future. A future in which we all accept that each part of the country is unique in its own way, has its own history, challenges, strengths, and ambitions. Only when all parts of Kenya pull together in one desired direction will we achieve prosperity for all. The counties are not equal or similar. Even this region, for example, you take Homabay, next door is Kisii, you see, and then the other door is also Migori. The three counties are not equal or similar. In Homabay here, they are like monoethnic. They can afford to talk the Luo Apa. Even the Suba speak the Luo. In Kisii, in Kisii they're also monoethnic. When you go to Migori, they are bilingual. There are Koreans there, and there are the Luos there. So you cannot speak Luo in an assembly in Migori. See, in Kisumu next door, different from Homabay, though they share the lake. Kisumu has an international airport. Kisumu has a railway line. Homabay does not have a railway line, does not have an international airport, and so on and so forth. So counties differ. So, where are we at this stage? Devolution is a process, not an event. It is about finding a balance between national and local aspirations. In this regard, we have made some significant progress. The most important step we have made is to make it the core principle behind devolution widely accepted. The principle of doing locally what is best done locally, and nationally only what is best done at the national level. But devolution must undergo continuous review and reinvention. The world is changing fast. So is Kenya. In 25 years from today, just from today, we will be in a Kenya of over 80 million people. Look at 25 years from today, it's just a turn of the century. And today it is 25 years from then. From 25 years from now, we are going to have 80 million people living in this country. The eyes of our people will be on their counties. Our counties will either be engines of innovation or bottlenecks of frustration. The choice is ours, and we must choose boldly. We need to watch against the transfer of power and resources from Nairobi only for the same to be hoarded at county headquarters. We have to continuously ensure local communities access the devolved power and resources and have the power to decide where funding goes and how the services and projects are run. The formulation of county integrated development plans must therefore be more serious and truly consultative, not mere procedures. Those CIPDs, DPs, must also be implemented to the letter with much more regular references to the people. Needless to say, we have to cut the controlling hand of the national government. We must continuously push the national government to stop micromanaging counties. We must constantly fight off the national government's instinct to hold power and resources. But let me be clear. References to national government's bad tendencies is not a call for a war between the two levels of government. In all devolved systems, getting money and power from either level is always a struggle. You have to treat the contest as an integral part of the strengthening of devolution and the reason for the two governments to build good faith. In fact, as that task continues, I want to propose that there be some incentives arrangements between the national government and the counties, through which the national government will reward those counties that deliver the best services in areas like poverty reduction, youth unemployment, and environmental conservation. We need to come up with more transparent and independent performance reporting at the counties that gives the public more access to data that it can use to evaluate the performance of their county against others. That data will enable citizens to know, for instance, where it is easier to start a business, access healthcare, do farming, move goods to markets, etc., enabling our citizens to make informed choices in their socio-economic activities. We need a digital devolution in counties. County services, from business permits to healthcare appointments, must be accessible online, in real time, and in local languages. This should go a long way in fighting the scourge of corruption that is taking very deep roots in counties. Our counties must move from being consumers of transfers to producers of wealth through county-led industrial parks, energy autonomy through solar, wind, and small-scale hydro projects, and smart agriculture hubs, among other areas powered by technology. Our Constitution clearly stipulates that the two levels of government depend on each other, that cooperation should help us to do away with, not enhance, duplication that results in wastage of time, efforts, and money. Even as county and national governments cooperate, there must be more clarity on roles and responsibilities. Some confusion is beginning to creep in, and accountability risks being lost in the process. We must continue demanding that counties be granted full control over all devolved functions. But we must also demand to see what difference the counties are making in increased devolved resources and functions. At the same time, we need to bring more areas into the devolution fold. Our constitution making was characterized by negotiations and give and take. To avoid a war, for example, with NAT, we only devolve early child development aspect of education. Because NAT had threatened us that if we devolve education, they are going to mobilize teachers to oppose the new constitution. And that's why education was not fully devolved. We must now break the cycle of managing our schools from far away in Nairobi. The time has come for Kenya to devolve education up to secondary school. It makes no sense to see a minister of education going to Marsabit, to Garissa, inspecting primary school structures or construction. It's a shame, because that is the work that should be done by the governor of the counties there. The time has come to devolve education. In the interest of efficiency and better service delivery, all money is currently managed by the NGCDF and NGAAF should be surrendered to counties. When CDF was formulated and promulgated, the people of Kenya were seeking an equitable distribution of natural resources which had been denied through an imperial presidency. Most of the work here was basically left to Harambes. He wanted to build a tuition build block, Harambee, dispensary, Harambee, and so on. Since that time, everything in the system of governance has changed. We removed the patronage system in allocation of natural resources. We adopted devolution. We established a constitutional commission to allocate revenue between the national and county governments. We empowered the parliament on budgetary matters. Everything Kenyans have done to re-establish good governance has made the CDF system obsolete. It is serving no known role in the new constitutional architecture, and it is no longer relevant in the new constitutional dispensation. Indeed, the only thing this system does is to pervert the role of the representative of the people and to deflect their attention from duties placed upon them by the Constitution. The legislatures are elected to represent the people, to legislate, and to oversight the national government. It is not their business to be distributing bursaries or be constructing classrooms and so on. Those are the work of the county government. Well, the MPs are constructing roads, constructing schools and hospitals. The same goes for infrastructure development. There is no reason for Nairobi-based agencies to continue flying over counties and construct roads in our urban centers and within our counties. I strongly believe that time has come for the authority over urban and rural roads to be handed over to counties, while the national government manages international highways and national trunk roads. I was the Minister for Roads, Public Works and Housing. I'm the one who took the bill to Parliament to create Kera, Kura, and Kenha. But that was under a unitary system of government at that time. With a devolved system of government, there's no need for somebody sitting in Nairobi to be in charge of rural roads in Homabay or Kiambu or Lambu, for example. So this is an idea whose time has come. It does not make sense that some roads in Kisumu town cannot be managed by the governor of Kisumu. There's somebody sitting in Nairobi called Kura who claimed those roads as his roads. The same thing in Mombasa, Eldoret, Nakuru, and so on. I know the better way to power this economy there's no better way to power this economy than to have major road construction works going on across all the 47 counties at the same time. I am well aware that some of these functions are currently not devolved and may require constitutional amendments to be transferred to counties. But through delegation of functions and legislation, we can get this work done and in the process take more power and resources and prosperity to the people. Finally, I want to address these two other issues. One, the governors have mentioned it, that governors serve the counties and they can serve 1 term, 2 terms. I've got a number of governors who have served 2 terms. In Parliament, we did an amendment so that any member of Parliament who serves 2 terms is automatically entitled to a pension. Why can we not do the same thing to the governors? A governor who has served 2 terms needs to be entitled automatically to a pension. So this is a recommendation that should come from Homabay. And members of Parliament should seize this matter and go and move an amendment in Parliament. Okay. Second thing is issue of corruption. See, corruption is not confined to the counties, and I'm happy that the President talked about this. I talked about it the other day. Our society will not develop until we manage this animal, this beast called corruption. And it is in all aspects of our lives. First, you talk about executive. It is rampant in the executive. Not at county only, first at the national level. In the procurement and in revenue collection, that's where it resides. Revenue collection, these revenue officers, whether it be the customs officers, they be income tax, they be VAT officers, there's a lot of pilferage in that right. There's a lot of leakages. And then procurement officers. Again, here there's an area where there's a lot of pilferage. You're procuring so expensively. You'll be told now you're building affordable housing. But at what cost? At what cost are you building the affordable housing? Yeah? And all that eventually is burden pushed to the taxpayer. So this is an area where we need to face these enemies of our society squarely in procurement and in revenue collection. The other area here is, and this is both at the national and at the county level. Then go over to the legislature. Again, it's domiciled in legislature. A lot of money was being wasted by people who should be working productively, being summoned to appear before parliamentary committees. And we find parliamentary committees sometimes saying we are cancelling this project. They're only doing that because they've been funded by a contractor who lost the contract. When there's a tender, there must be a winner. And once that the tender has been awarded, the contractors who lost will look for the member of parliament or an MCA. Or the contract has been corruptly awarded. Then immediately they now summon the minister or the PS to come, and we want to investigate this. They shout a lot of, make a lot of noise, but basically they are being paid by the losing contractor. As they've been doing this, the contract has been properly awarded, is suspended, is cancelled, and you know the financial year is very short. By the time you awarded the contract, it is September. If somebody goes and suspends it, you will be into the new year. The whole financial year is wasted, money is not spent. So Parliament must also be brought on board properly, because Parliament is also actually impeding implementation of government projects by being corrupted by contractors. And then, you know, come over to judiciary. Judiciary is also not blameless. When some people tell you that I don't, rather than wasting my money in hiring a lawyer, I'd rather bribe a judge, and I will get whatever I want. A criminal, somebody that committed a crime, when he's supposed to be arrested, rushes to court, and when they go to court there, gets an order to stop him from being arrested. So the judiciary is a major impediment also. So the corruption resides also in the judiciary. And you come down to the private sector. The private sector is also not blameless. The private sector is where there's competition for contracts, and they're the ones who now go and bribe the executive, they also bribe the legislature and so on. So there's always a giver and a taker in a corrupt deal. So the private sector is also not blameless. The media is also not blameless here. The media is very much deeply involved. If you see the media saying, oh, we are exposing corruption here, they have been paid. But we have done a professional investigation exposing corruption in the legislature or in judiciary, in the executive. They themselves have been paid to do what they're doing. So the media is not blameless in this one here. So we need to deal with this issue squarely by looking at this animal called corruption, the face, and dealing with it. That's the only way that our country will be able to move forward. I thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we kindly request you to remain up on stage. We have a gift for you from the Council of Governors, which will be presented by the Chair of the Council of Governors and the Vice Chair, who is also the Chair of the committee that organized this year's Devolution Conference. There will be a second one from the county of Homabay. This is from the Council of Governors, being presented by the Chair and the Vice Chair of the Council of Governors. Tupige makofi tafadhali. Thank you. The second gift, Right Honorable Prime Minister, the second gift is from the host county of Homabay. And as you can see, all Homabay people, please piga makofi as you present your gift to the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Asante sana. We are then going to have a quick session of photos, and I'd like to request all the governors present to please come up on stage, all the governors present to take a photo with the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Also, kindly, I'd like to ask, they'll be taken outside.
Your Excellency, with your permission, we could conclude with the national anthem, Your Excellency. And I do request that when you go back to where you're seated, we all be at attention for that. And Your Excellency, only Your Excellency, Dr. Odinga, to go up on stage for that. It is very important for our optics. Francis, kindly assist. Assist Francis. Thank you. Thank you. Francis, assist me with the headgear as well. And may I request that all unofficial headgear be dressed down. National Anthem of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you. The photo session will take place in the official photo booth as you exit. May we accord His Excellency Dr. Odinga another round of applause for those great words of wisdom. Latif.
Asante sana Bage. Ladies and gentlemen, our side events will be taking place shortly. In fact, they begin immediately in all the side event tents. We have 13 side events that are taking place now. We have some side events that are taking off now in all the side tents. Please make your way to all the side events. Plus, remember, tomorrow morning we begin with side events as early as 8 a.m. So we come in for the side events as early as 8 a.m. For now, side events taking place, and they can take place until whenever the sessions decide to conclude, depending on the vibrancy of the conversations that will be taking place in there. So they take place from the main hall. This one, there's a side event that will be taking place here. And then we have tents 1 to 12. Here we'll be having the Africa Urban Lab session, Rethinking Urban Expansion, Planning, the periphery for equity and inclusive growth. Please let's attend all these side events. They are very, very important, very, very good conversations taking place. Remember tonight at the Governor's Park, the county of Homabay is hosting dinner, and the governor has invited all of us to attend that dinner tonight at the Governor's Park. Tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. we begin with the side events, all of them taking place in the various designated tents. There will be 10 side events tomorrow morning. There are 13 side events taking place now. Now, if anybody has lost the keys for a very big car, and there are very, very many keys, you can look for the, you're saying they're yours. You will have to come here with a lot of evidence of what we ought to know about the keys. So let's attend the side events. See you in the tents, tent number 1 to tent number 12, and this main hall, which will be hosting the African Urban Lab conversation on rethinking urban expansion. Tent number 1, Proximi Limited. Tent number 2, Food for Education. Tent number 3, GIZ on financing resilience of cities and communities. Tent number 4, Pan-Africa Climate Justice Alliance. Number 5, Technology Service Providers Association of Kenya. Tent number 6, ECD Network. Number 7, Center for Fiscal Affairs. Tent number 8, Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa. Tent number 9, the National Construction Authority. Number 10, State Department for Trade on unlocking county trade potential. Number 11, AMREF. Number 12, the State Department for Public Health and Professional Standards. All those conversations taking place from now in the side tents. Tomorrow morning we convene here for the side events as well from 8 a.m. Yes, sir.